Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Guys, very special review here today. For those who follow me on Facebook, the Working Man's Whiskey on Facebook, guys, if you don't follow it yet, please do. Check it out. I post little updates every now and then. So, if you want to see when a review might be coming out, it's a good place to look. But posted a little while ago today that today's review is going to be one of my favorites. And one of the reasons for that, guys, is not only are we reviewing a really good whiskey today, but I want to talk a little bit about history. You guys know, if you've been following me long enough, that I love history. And this has to do with family, with my personal family history. And although it's not exactly connected to this whiskey here, there is a little bit of a connection there, because it kind of leads up to why I have this whiskey here today, which is a Bull Run barrel strength bourbon whiskey. And what happened, guys, was my mom went on a trip to Oregon a couple weeks ago. Saw a lot of my family. Still have a lot of family in Oregon, and she was able to get a lot of pictures, really cool family history while she was there. I've known a little bit I've heard names of family members in the past, and I'm a big time history nut, so any new information is always welcome, and I've found some pretty cool things about family up that way in Oregon. So got some pictures here for you guys today. So please, if you guys want to skip forward to the review part of this, that's fine too. But otherwise, just hang along for the ride, and it's some pretty cool stuff, guys. So just wanted to tell you that these are my great grandparents. Their names were Daisy and William Reinhardt, also known as Bill. That's them right there. They were married in, I think they were married right around the turn of the century, right around 1900 or so. And Bill had an interesting kind of background, guys. He was born in Germany, came to the U.S. when he was just a little kid, became a coal miner, and sorry, somebody having car problems out there. But he became a coal miner when he was young in Ohio, and he got black lung disease, guys. And after he got black lung, he wanted to make the most of the rest of his life. He wasn't sure how long at that point that he would live, so he wanted to make the most of things. He hopped a freight train in Ohio, and he ended up in Oregon. And when he got to Oregon, he met my great-great-grandmother, Daisy. Daisy Bell was her name. Daisy Bell Warner. And anyway, they ended up getting married. Here they are again. That's them. And William, or Bill, ended up starting up a saloon. And this is him at his saloon in Shaniko, Oregon, guys. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm not sure if it's Shaniko or Shaniko. I'm going with Shaniko, though. And this was the early 1900s. And his saloon, they ran the Hotel Shaniko and the adjoining saloon called the Palace. And this was taken in the early 1900s, guys. So there he is, the guy with the mustache behind the bar there. Pretty cool. And little shot of the town of Shaniko at that point. This picture comes from a book called Shaniko People. It was written by a lady named Helen Guyton Reese. And there's a whole little section there. She has a little write-up on my great-great-grandfather, Bill Reinhardt. It's pretty neat. It just talks about his, how he jumped that freight train after he got the black lung disease. and ended up going all the way to Oregon, where he operated the saloon in Shaniko, and the Hotel Shaniko as well. And so that's kind of cool. Old West looking town there, Shaniko, Oregon. And years later, he also operated a saloon in Ashland, Oregon. And this is him years later outside of his saloon. It was called the Club Saloon. Him and probably one of the earlier cars here in the U.S. And he operated that for several years that I know about. And this last shot here is him inside the Club Saloon. There he is behind the bar again. Two other guys in this picture are his brother and his son, I believe, and or his nephew, one of the two. But anyway, my great-great-grandfather and two other family members in the shot here. And something kind of cool, guys. Not only is this in his saloon, the Club Saloon in Ashland, Oregon, but behind, it's probably too small for you guys to see, but behind Bill, my grandfather, there's a sign that says, Oregon will stay wet. And the significance of that, of course, is this was taken right before Prohibition began. And it said to, vote no on Prohibition, pretty much, is what the sign was saying. So this picture here is right about 100 years old. Prohibition started in 1920 and lasted until 1933, I believe. And one more time, I'll show you that one more time. So in that sign, that little white sign behind him there says, Oregon will stay wet. So yeah, pretty cool family history I got from this, guys. And while my mom was there, my mom was a big supporter of my whiskey reviews here. And she couldn't decide, which kind of whiskey to get me while she was there in Oregon. She didn't have to get me anything, so thank you, Ma. Love you. But she ended up getting me 3 different Oregon whiskeys that, of course, I had never tried out before, hadn't even heard of before. And I think some of, there are some places where you can get maybe 1 or 2 of them, but probably very limited. So if you guys are ever around Oregon or you're in a place that carries whiskeys from elsewhere besides your Kentuckys and Tennessees and whatnot, definitely look for these whiskeys. I'm not quite sure on the price point. All my mom told me was they're within my my price range that I usually try to look or stay at for this channel. Maybe a few bucks more, but they're right around there. So the first one we have here today, guys, and thank you for sticking with me talking about my family history. Just thought it was really cool, and it kind of leads up to, kind of connected to my whiskey love and limited knowledge that I have, but I just wanted to share that with you guys, so I appreciate that. So this one here is called Bull Run, and it's a straight bourbon whiskey, but it's barrel strength. And Bull Run was, it's not that old, but it was started by a guy named Lee Medoff, if I'm saying his name right, Medoff. And Lee used to be a brewer, made beer, and then switched to winemaking. And then from winemaking, decided to start distilling some other spirits. So currently, I believe Lee, he's the founder, of course, of Bull Run and also the head distiller there. And I believe right now he's making several different kinds of whiskey, including a single malt, bourbon. He's making a vodka there as well. But this one here, of course, is the barrel strength bourbon whiskey. Not sure if it has an age statement. Didn't see one on here. But it tells you the batch number and all that. Batch number 15, bottle number 395, and this one being a barrel proof, of course, not diluted at all once it when it's done with the aging process. So this one is 117.7 proof, 58.85% ABV, and you know, I'm gonna try this out, guys. I've had a couple sips of this, as you can see. You can see how dark it is there in the bottle. It's a good deep amber color, but as I said, I'm gonna try it out the way I like it, and just because it's a barrel proof, barrel strength whiskey, we'll try a sip or two with just a little bit of water in there as well. See if there's any difference, you know, anything else we can pick up with a little bit of water. So, I'll read the back of this. It says, public notice, Bull Run barrel strength whiskey was conceived in the heartland at one of America's oldest distilleries, then born at Bull Run Distilling Company in the Pacific Northwest. America's new distillery, Frontier. We think you'll agree that the resulting whiskey is exceptional. We say to you, imbibe, but please temper thyself. So, and it says distilled in Indiana, bottled by Bull Run Distilling Company, Portland, Oregon. So, you know, they outsource their whiskey, but we'll see what's in the bottle, guys. That's what means the most. So, give this a pour. All right, it's probably a little too much considering it's 117.7 proof, but let's check this out. So as I said, it's pretty dark, guys. It's a good deep amber color. It's got some definitely some good legs, some good stick to the glass there. Let's give it a nose. All right, guys. There's a lot going on the nose here. Some really good deep caramel in there and vanilla. Definitely a lot of oak in there. Some good spice. Baking spice, rye spice, deep. It's got a lot of fruit note to it, both deep, you know, dark fruit, cherry. Definitely a lot of cherry in there. And I'm picking up some like orange in there as well, guys. So some good citrus going on as well in there. Let's take a sip. Ooh. That is good. And strong. 117 proof. 117.7. But a lot of the same things on the palate there. Good deep caramel. It's got a lot of oak, or a good amount of oak, I should say. Vanilla, that cherry, that dark fruit. Good spice, rye spice, baking spice. It's got a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. Definitely a tiny touch of corn, sweet corn. But this one doesn't have, I don't know how old this is, but it doesn't have that really youthful taste to it. So young or not, this has a lot of good, deep, rich character. I'm really enjoying this. So let's put a touch of water in there, just see what we got going on with the just a little bit of water. I don't want to use too much, guys, so I'm just going to use 1 spoon. All right. Swirl. Okay. Okay, what I do enjoy it, probably the best, neat with no added water. But that said, that water definitely brings more out. It brings the rye out more. You get some of that wet wood sawdust, a little bit of briny type note more with the water. And some of the lighter, uh, you know, the lighter notes come out as well. Honey, you get some honey in there. Um, but guys, it's just a well-rounded, well-constructed bourbon. Whether you want to drink it neat, without water, or if you want to put a little bit of water in there, um, an ice cube. I would not mix it. I definitely would not mix it because I would just say that's a waste of good bourbon. Um, really, really good stuff. I'm this one's gonna be hard to beat as far as the other ones that my mom picked out in Oregon. But uh, the other ones I'm telling you right now, I'm looking forward to reviewing those as well. There's this one, as I said, this is a barrel strength barrel strength bourbon. There's one that's a single malt, but made in Oregon, and then there's one that's 100% rye. So looking forward to reviewing those ones as well, guys. This one here, this is no joke. This is gonna be in my top probably 3 or 4 whiskeys that I've reviewed on here. I'm going to give this one a 95. A 95 out of 100. Well deserved. Very, very, very good. I love barrel strength whiskey, guys, so I'm a little bit biased. I just like the stronger, undiluted. I like a lot of 80 proof whiskeys. I do, but this one, uh, it's good to taste a whiskey when it's not diluted with water, when it still has some of those kind of fatty acids in there that it just makes for a more complete experience for me personally. So definitely highly recommend this one, guys. Check it out. If you go to Oregon, guys, I don't know, I'm pretty sure the place is still open, but my stepsister lived in Portland for a time. She moved back to California recently, but when my when my dad and stepmom went to visit her in Oregon, they went to a place that had like 3,000 different kinds of whiskey. I cannot think of the name of the place. They told me all about it, told me that I would love this place. And now that she's moved back, it's unfortunately one less reason to go there someday. Probably missed the boat on that one, but I do some fishing up near Oregon every now and then, and if I ever get into the state, go see family there, check on this side of the family. Maybe go to some of those, a couple of those towns, Shaniko and Ashland, where my great-great-grandfather Bill Reinhardt had his saloons. Maybe I'd do a trip and just check all that out and go drink some whiskey at this place. So, and I recommend you do the same. Guys, this is good stuff. You guys are not going to regret this one. So that's it for now. As I said, I have 2 more Oregon whiskeys coming up. I also have a blended Scotch whiskey coming up after that. I also I have one kind of in my mind, that somebody mentioned in a comment that they wanted me to review. So I've already found where I can purchase that, and I plan on doing that one as well soon. That's another bourbon. So that's it for now, guys. Look forward to talking to you all soon. I hope you enjoy this review. This is one of my favorites. Appreciate you guys listening while I talked about family history. And here's to my great-great-grandpa William Reinhardt. It seemed like a cool guy, and he was against Prohibition, guys. And if you guys haven't done the research on Prohibition, it wasn't a good time, and it was not a good idea. So, for those who believe in temperance, I don't know why you're watching this channel anyway, but sorry to disagree. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Look forward to talking to y'all soon. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Check me out on Facebook, and you'll know when I'm doing my next review. That's it for now, and until next time, cheers.